Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Burning Cinema, the show where nostalgia has a second chance and we revisit the movies that shaped our past. If you've been with us before, well, I think you know how it works. If not, then get ready to dive headfirst into a piece of cinema history. I'm your host, Ross, and joining me, as always, is my good friend and co-host, Tom. And so we continue our theme, franchise fatigue. And last week, we went all X-Men superhero, didn't we? And it came off quite well, didn't it, really, I think?
It did do really well, actually.
Yeah, which is surprising, which just proved the point that fatigue had not set in with the X-Men franchise, had it? Certainly enjoying what was on to offer there, and so we wanted more. But we're going to be asking that question, do we want any more with this one? And Tom, tell our good listeners what we've got coming up.
Well, today we're going to be going into the Transformers franchise, and we've gone for Age of Extinction, which is Michael Bay's 2014 entry. This is the fourth film of the, sort of, I suppose you could say, modern Transformers series.
After all we have done, humans are hunting us. But I fear we are all targets now.
What is that?
Who sent you here? This is not war. It's human extinction.
So Transformers, well, I would say this comes from, well, would you say it's the Michael Bayer-verse? I've probably made that word up, I think, completely. I don't know.
You can have it.
You can have it, yeah. Yeah, coming from Michael Bay, who did the first one, didn't he, many moons ago with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox, weren't it? They were the two human characters in this Transformers reprise of what was an old 80s TV show. And that's probably where I come in on this one, because the 80s TV show was, well, it was adored, certainly by me. I had the toys in the 80s. I did as a kid. I watched it as a Saturday morning cartoon.
Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. The Transformers. Transformers.
There was a lot of love for it. So you can imagine that when Michael Bay came along and decided to put his Michael Bayer-verse all over this, you know, and update it, people like myself, very much adults and dads at the time, were very much interested in it to see what he was going to do with it. And I've got to say, the first one, not bad. We'll be asking ourselves, have we had enough? Have we transformed ourselves beyond recognition? Or we'll just have to find out, won't we? Shall we deep dive?
Let's do it.
Yeah. So we open up in space, and something's entering the atmosphere into Earth.
And I'm going to immediately step in and say, to cover this whole film, the sound design is once again phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
They really do know what they're doing in terms of sound design, don't they?
And we
These
get this
Transformers films.
weird kind of, well, we're misdirected, aren't we, a little bit? And it's the time of the dinosaurs on Earth, innit? And something's going down, isn't there? There's a bomb dropped from an alien race, isn't there?
Basically, I think they're trying to sort of rewrite history a little bit here. Which
Yeah.
we all universally know from science why the dinosaurs went extinct, and that was because, you know, the asteroid or meteorite, whatever you want to call it. I have to go back to Armageddon to reference what exactly it's meant to be called.
Oh yeah, no, we're not doing science, asteroids, rocks, comets.
No, something rocky fell from the sky and caused some problems for the dinosaurs. We know it wasn't Transformers, but they're trying to rewrite this history, which I find a little bit annoying. But
Really? Oh, right.
What I didn't realise, but essentially what is happening is that robots are dicks to dinosaurs in this film.
Yeah, they're not very nice to them.
No, they're not, and they just kill a load of them by turning them into, like,
There's some sort of super weapon thing, isn't there,
metal
that drops
thing,
out of the
isn't
sky and
Yeah.
sort of does all this weird stuff and everything.
Kind of naff.
So,
I didn't
I
really
mean,
like it.
you know me, I always like a bit of confusion at the beginning, like what, and I kind of feel that this is the trait of our Transformer movies now, is taking things and just rejigging it a little bit to make it fit the Transformer world or as such. And it's like, oh, I think we got a little bit elements of that, didn't we, in number 3, if I remember?
Yeah.
They go to the moon, didn't we? Which we did in 1968, 8, 9. Oh dear, now we're testing us, aren't we? And when we go there, obviously there's an alternative motive, isn't there, of why the astronauts are going there?
Again, I can kind of live with that. I kind of like that.
Right.
Because there is all that. There is already mystery and conspiracy around the moon landings and that sort of thing. But this, trying to rewrite what happened to the dinosaurs, is a bit. We know what happened to them. So it sort of takes it away from that, and I got annoyed by it. But anyway, there we go.
Well, we certainly did know what happened to him because we found a big old dinosaur, didn't we? Stuck in a glacier, didn't we? We did got classic scientists turning up, having a look what's going on. I've got to be honest with you, I wasn't really that interested in what's what. We kind of know this. We go, oh, what's that? Oh, well, it's Transformer, innit? No one's told me that.
We know.
But I know. Moving on.
Funny enough, we have been here before.
And certainly by moving on, we end up flying our way all the way over to Texas, USA. And there's little hints, isn't there, that we definitely are on the same timeline, aren't we? Because we've got little sort of billboards as the car is driving in across Texas, isn't it, to tell us that, oh, by the way, all this stuff happened in Chicago.
Yeah, and there's all the news articles, isn't there, about Chicago and how humans have tried to move on from it, and now we're sort of not really friendly with the robots anymore. Yeah, there's been some politics going on. It's all very exciting.
Yeah. You don't sound that excited, I've got to be honest.
Well,
it's all very exciting.
It's just, I didn't find it very interesting.
No.
It's just that we've fallen out again, but it's like, we've fallen out with them before. That happened in number 3. We fell out with them.
Oh, yeah, they left, didn't they?
Yeah, they
and
left,
then they went, oh,
and
not
then they
really,
came
we'll
back.
come back again, yeah.
So it's just...
Yeah, the old, we're not helping you, we're going to go. We'll come on to that a little bit later in the film where it will fall into those old tropes, isn't it? But certainly we start to meet, whilst we mentioned we haven't got our main characters back from, well, any of the first 3, we've got almost whole new cast of human characters, haven't we?
We do, so we're going to meet Cade Yeager, played by Mark Wahlberg. He's our main character, essentially. He's the little sidekick now for the Autobot. Spoiler alert, that's what he'll become. But he's an inventor.
Well, you say he's an inventor.
Well,
I mean,
he invents absolute trash.
Junk.
He's a dick to his employee. I find him a bit rubbish at everything he does as a dad. Like, he's a terrible dad. Way too controlling. He's mean to his employee. He can't invent anything useful.
Some of the rubbish he's invented.
Well, he's got that robot that contains beer that brings beer like within 5 feet of you.
What? I mean, if you were watching this film, if it was in the 1960s, and he was an inventor, these inventions would be pretty like, oh, that's quite funny and quite quirky.
Like, he's invented that robot, hasn't he? That paints a wall for him, but the robot's only about 2 foot tall.
Yeah, and it's painting about one strip
all it's going to do
per
is
5 minutes, isn't it? Rubbish.
Just above your skirting boards. Who's going to do the rest of it? What's the point?
By the time you got the robot out, you could have painted it yourself.
How much would the robot cost? You might as well just employ someone to do it for you.
Yeah, £16 for a tin of paint and a roller, isn't it? Yeah. Or, 28 grand for a robot that can do 1 stroke per hour, isn't it? Yeah. Jesus Christ!
So it has to be painted at some point within.
Someone needs to have a chat with young Cade Yeager, don't they? Mate, I think you're on the wrong path. I've got to be honest with you. Yeah, that's probably why he's absolutely shit as an inventor, isn't it?
He is really rubbish. But for someone who's apparently struggling financially, what a lovely house he has.
He's got they fall into this problem all the time, don't they? In some of these. And I will say American films, because it seems to be predominantly to them, doesn't it? Yeah. I mean, we used to see it a lot in John Hughes productions, so your Home Alones, your Breakfast Clubs, they all lived in massive houses. I remember being young, looking at American houses and going, wow, I live in a bungalow.
But that's it. In American films, the houses are gorgeous. They're
they've all got massive front yards, huge backyards.
I don't even like houses.
They've got
they look amazing.
Everyone's got a bedroom. They've all got a landing that you can walk down like a corridor.
Porch.
Oh, a porch. Yeah, porch. Yeah.
Land. They have loads of land.
Yeah, garage, driveway with car and everything like that. And people are just, you would think everyone's rich in America, innit? And I mean, certainly...
You'd probably argue it would make more sense for the story
Yeah.
If Cade was living in some sort of really run-down, single-story shack of a house,
Yeah.
which just sometimes have a large shed, that sort of thing, where he
Or
builds
even
his,
if it was
crappy
his
inventions.
there was a bit of a sad story where his parents had died and left him the farm, and he had to be brought up on it. Yeah, he's had to, and now all the money's gone. He's borrowed as much as he can from the back. That seems more realistic. But yeah, you're looking at it, and I think even talking about the house, we get on later on when some bad guys turned up, don't they?
Yeah.
But they even mention in there what a lovely place you have. This is really great. So even the actors are admiring the landscape that he has.
He's
So
doing
yeah,
all right. But he lives there, doesn't he, with his daughter, who's called Tessa, and we also get to meet his employee Lucas, played by T.J. Miller. But yeah, we sort of learn that Tessa's trying to go off to, I think, college, but keeps getting rejected for sort of college funding, and Lucas is a bit of an idiot. And this is where I sort of struggle. I think the comedy in this film feels very forced. Like in the first three, I know obviously, I suppose in a film, comedy is always forced to an extent because it's scripted. But in this film, it was just like they were trying too hard. And interestingly, T.J. Miller apparently didn't even get on with Michael Bay because Michael Bay didn't find him funny.
wow. But Michael Bay must have hired him at some point.
Well, they
He
said,
must have...
we hired you to be funny and you haven't done anything funny.
But wouldn't his answer to that would be like, "Well, write me something funny. I don't turn up to be funny."
Well, I think they
yeah.
wanted him to improv a little bit and that sort of thing. It was just
Well, I don't think he's going to be your Robin Williams, is he?
Well,
or
no,
anything
no,
like that.
no,
Who
what a
were the
legend.
masters of that game, weren't they?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, so...
Maybe mismatched there. Maybe put on. Certainly, we'll come to his character a little bit later. But
essentially-
again, go on.
well, they sort of move on. We get these introductions. It's not very interesting. And they go off to buy some stuff from an old cinema. Again, we get forced humour. But for some reasons unbeknownst to everyone, there's an old truck, like a lorry cab, parked in the cinema, because that's where you normally park a lorry cab, in an old cinema. And they decide to buy that.
Which we all know is...
Optimus Prime.
Let's not beat around the bush. That's what it is. And it looks like original Optimus
It
Prime.
was designed to look like it was in the sort of early cartoons where he was
But it's all grey and rusty and
Yeah.
and okay, that's good. What the truck is doing in the cinema, I have no idea. Was he originally transformed and taken in a movie or something? Was he or something? Or
Yeah, that's sort of not
and
really
now the truck is
explained.
in the cinema.
But they're walking around buying this stuff, and Cade's like, "How much for the truck?" And this guy goes, "What truck?" And it's like, "How have you not seen the lorry?
There's a truck
in your cinema."
in the cinema. I mean, I'd notice if there
If
was
I
a
went
truck.
down to the local Odeon and was walking around, and there was a lorry cab in there, I'd probably notice. Why is that here? And I'm pretty sure the staff would notice as well, because they're not small.
Would you be saying to him, I hope he's paid for all those seats he's sitting in?
He's blocking my view slightly.
Yeah, I've got a massive transformer in front of me. It's Optimus Prime. We all know that, don't we? So we play this kind of waiting game, don't we? Really, of like
He's
kind
been
of
in some sort of battle, hasn't he?
and we're playing it through their eyes, which I always find a little bit of a struggle sometimes. That we as the audience go, well, we know who he is. We know it's an Autobot. We know that he's probably in hibernation or he's hiding himself. Hence the phrase "robots in disguise."
Yeah, so this is what happens. He's taking Optimus back home because he wants to try and figure out how he works so he can use it for his inventions. But meanwhile, we meet a couple of bad guys, don't we? We've got Attinger, played by Kelsey Grammer, and we've also got James Savoy, played by Titus Welliver. A couple of fine actors there. They're sort of working for the CIA, but they're sort of like a CIA project offshoot thing, aren't they? Called Cemetery Wind.
I mean, you say that, mate. I went along with it. I didn't know who anybody was really and what they were playing. I got the idea that they're government officials and they're not very happy with the Autobots.
No, and they're hunting them down because they've gone out and murdered Ratchet, haven't they?
Yeah.
And they kill Ratchet because they feel like it.
I mean, you basically got this kind of, we don't like the Autobots. We need to go and hunt them down. We're hunting them down, but then the irony is that they say, we should be in control of our own destiny as humans. We should be in charge of the technology, not the Autobots. But yet they're using an Autobot, aren't they, to actually be an assassin, aren't they? But I got the sense, and get me right on this, that there was some sort of half the government doesn't quite know what the other side of the government is doing.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a split because then there's obviously the new defence chief, isn't there, who comes in and is trying to talk to them about it and be like, so the president kind of wants to know what's going on here, and you guys are kind of being quite secretive, and they won't really let on apart from saying the Autobots are bad, they're all bad, we need to get rid of them all and save our planet.
And we've got Cade and his little motley crew that's slowly building up together, combined of like him, his mate or employee that he never pays, and so his daughter. And talking about his daughter, unfortunately, we find ourselves in the oh dear, we find ourselves back on like the kind of Furious 7 side of things of this kind of oh dear. Oh, there's some just we'll get it out. Just some weird teenage sexualizing moments that are quite shocking, really. I mean, for a start, his friend or his employee is saying that she's hot. It comes out of nowhere, and you think, is that supposed to be funny? That's like the guy's daughter. That's just a bit weird, you know.
Yeah, it's all there's a disturbing amount of creepiness in this film that I don't like talking about because it's not funny, it's not interesting, it's not edgy, it's disturbing, and it's a bit of a problem because Michael Bay, he can make a film. We know this. He's a good filmmaker. He does some incredible shots, and I find it's a bit of a to put it lightly, it's a letdown. It's a bit of a takeaway from his abilities. It feels that this keeps happening.
Yeah, and I think like Furious 7 when we were dealing with, you know, a few weeks back, it's cheap, isn't it? It's like we're just gonna either get cheap laughs, or I mean, she's clearly a very good-looking girl. There's no doubt about it. However, though, you know, when you've got older men and things, it just leaves a sour taste in your mouth.
It's all weird, and
you know,
and more than anything, I think it's unnecessary. It doesn't need to be in there.
Yeah,
like this film's nearly 2.5 hours long.
I mean, there's some questionable outfits she's wearing as well. You know, you just think, good lord. And there's some questionable shots from the cameraman again. You know, I mean, we had a little bit of this in number 3, and probably maybe, but it was in number 1 and number 2 a little bit, but it didn't seem so predominant. It didn't seem so actually in your face. You know,
no, exactly.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah,
not great.
Not good at all.
No, that's dated quite badly, and I'm kind of glad that we don't resort to as much as that as what we did then anyway. But
what we do have, moving it on from the creepiness,
there'll be some more creepiness coming later.
Oh, yeah,
we ain't finished yet.
It's bringing back Animal Cracker vibes.
Oh God, we're going way back. This is going all the way back to Armageddon.
Don't you notice how they're there, they're all there. They turn up with their guns and their scary vehicles, like they hold them all hostage, and they put a gun to Tessa's head, Cade's daughter, and say, "Where's Optimus? Or we're gonna kill her." And he counts down, and he gets to 0 essentially, and Cade still hasn't said, "Yeah, he's over there."
Yeah,
he was willing to allow his daughter to be killed for a robot he met 20 minutes ago. Best thing that's ever happened to him. But I will let this man shoot you in the head for the robot that's in our garage.
It was weird, wasn't it? It kind of, you get the kind of state of suspense of like, right, I'm going to count to 5, and I get that. You know, you kind of, but the audience watching it, you're thinking, oh my God, is Cade going to give the game away, or is Optimus Prime going to spring into action in it and save the day just before the gun goes off or something? You know, is something going to happen like that? But like you say, I realised that as well when I was watching it, and I went, oh, we're still going. And it still went on, didn't it?
Yeah.
So he'd counted 5 or got to the end, and it still went on, and it carried on going, and they still kept asking him, tell us where he is. And not being funny, they were already looking anyway. They hadn't really looked properly.
I mean, they're really crap at searching, aren't they?
I mean, yeah, they just sent one guy to have a random
robot.
You got to look at a big robot. How about the cellar? Oh, that's where it is. You know.
Well, Optimus does pop out, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He saves the day, kind of.
And in the meantime, this gentleman called Shane has turned up. Now, he's Tessa's boyfriend, and he drives.
I like the way you said that.
What the hell is that dialogue? Is Shane dead and he drives?
But did you notice?
Oh, no, he drives. I'm in the car with him. I can see he drives. What?
So he has a driving license. Whoopie do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. What a skill. But did you notice that turns up, and I think there's supposed to be this misdirection or something. So the car turns up, doesn't it? And it's in the field.
Yeah.
And then it stays there on the other side of the fence, doesn't it? and just sits there. And then you have all this catastrophe where the evil bad guys or the evil government agents turn up and put a gun to his daughter's head, do all that sort of stuff, do the counting down to 10. So during this time, he's just sitting there watching that.
Yeah.
And then decides, now it's time to spring into action. I'll drive at full belt into the crowd and do a flip. I don't know.
Well, because he's a rally driver, isn't he?
I
Or
think
he's meant
so.
to be.
Yeah,
he's meant to be. And they're like, oh, he's really good, and he's just been picked up by Red Bull. And then when they're doing this chasing, because they drive away and Cemetery Wind chase them, and then Optimus is being chased by Lockdown, blah, blah, blah. He wants to do that sort of. He wants to drive the car out the building because there's a ramp that just happens to be there, which is incredibly convenient. And he needs Tessa to control the handbrake for him. And it's like, I'm pretty sure rally drivers don't turn to their co-driver and go, "All right, Phil, can you just do the handbrake for me?"
Yeah, he's got one of those really long handbrakes, hasn't he, that you get in rally cars.
Yeah, but it's like they don't ask their co-driver to help them out. So he's not that good, is he?
Yeah, it was a bit weird, all that chasing. I think it went on too long, and
also
I lost track of where Optimus Prime was.
Well, yeah,
He'd like disappeared.
The fight with Optimus and Lockdown was just in the background. I don't care about this car chase. Robots fighting.
And I didn't understand that now they've seen Optimus Prime.
Yep.
So he's fighting.
Yep.
We found him.
There he is.
We don't need them anymore. That's a flaw. They've got no information.
They can get them anytime.
But they've got no information. All they did is harboured an Autobot, which probably against the law in some.
Yeah.
There's probably some legislation in this world where you're okay. But if they get away and drive off, so what?
You'll find them eventually. Our focus should be
Because our whole focus was trying to get Optimus Prime, wasn't it? That was what was doing it. So it's weird. None of it made any sense and it was again sort of forced action put into, just very odd. Anyways, the boyfriend's doing some spins, some flips, and driving and doing all around this industrial estate where there's no one else around.
Oh, Lucas is killed, isn't he?
Yeah. So we lose T.J. Miller's character, don't we? Anyway, that's the end of him.
And they escape.
And they escape. They move on very, very. They actually move on quite quickly, as quick as what we've just moved on.
They really do. They really didn't get.
They just jump in Optimus Prime and off they go. And they go, oh well, he died.
Shame.
The end. Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, she goes stay at this gas station. I'm just going to point out this abandoned gas station in the middle of Texas. Just happens to have a mattress, equipment to hack into a government high-tech transformer drone. New outfits. They have a laptop they can take with them. What the hell was in that gas station?
I mean,
gas station for those who are not.
It looked very abandoned, didn't it?
It was abandoned.
Yeah.
It just had all this stuff.
Yeah, it
in
had a
there.
full rack of clothes on the side, and I just. Yeah, so yeah, they've had this sort of rest, and we're given some more sort of. Well, we're given what is probably the most horrible bit of the entire film.
I don't even really want to talk about it.
I know you don't want to talk about it,
so
but we've got to. We're going to do it. I'm going to make you. So let's talk about the Romeo and Juliet laws in Texas. So those that have seen the film will understand that he's about 20 and she's 17. And obviously Cade isn't very happy about this, about his daughter, is it? That
Nope.
he's a lot older than her. She's only 17. In fact, he even says that. In this guy's defense, he pulls out of his wallet a laminated, and there's a laminated card of the Romeo and Juliet law in Texas, which is a statue saying that they're allowed to be together, or they're allowed to have connections, let's call it. Laminated. Is this a thing he's doing quite a lot?
The biggest thing I'm going to take up, beside the creepiness, is that, again, so unnecessary. Like, all of this doesn't need to be in the film. They could just make it that she's...
It doesn't make any sense.
She's got a boyfriend, and he's not happy about it because he's a protective dad. We don't need this whole Romeo and Juliet stuff.
It wouldn't matter if she was 20, 25, 26, 20, 30, yeah? Yeah, it wouldn't matter. And it wouldn't really matter even if they were youngsters, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Even if they were teenagers, like young teens, and he's my boyfriend, she's my girlfriend, that's the end of it, But they make a real stance on this age. And I just find it so odd. So odd. So weird. It's phenomenal why you would want to put this in your film why nobody, whether the editor, the producer, anyone else, went, Michael, what the hell are you doing? What is this? Cut it out, because if you'd cut it out, you'd have been none the wiser. It would have made no difference whatsoever.
Well, it would have improved the film.
It might have improved it, but now I've got this on my brain. Now I'm being told, I'm being taken out of the film randomly, and I'm actually being taken, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Mark Wahlberg, I'll be absolutely honest with you, right? He's not my favourite person. Is he right for this role? Probably not in my eyes. Is he popular? Yeah, a lot of people like him, don't they? However, though, I just find that it even takes the element away from him. So everyone else is sidelined for this weird printed card, laminated wallet thing. I don't know. I don't even know. I'm not going to go on about it anymore. I'm dreadful. Absolutely dreadful.
It is dreadful. But yeah, they move on with all their new equipment they found out of this stupid abandoned gas station.
Basically Mary Poppins handbag, yeah.
Pretty much. Optimus goes to meet some Autobots. We've got Bumblebee, we've got Drift, Hound, and Crosshair. So we've got a few new ones, haven't we, turning up? And obviously Bumblebee's back again.
Yeah, Bumblebee's back in the game.
He's everyone's hero, isn't he? Everyone loves Bumblebee.
Still not his original Bumblebee,
No, not his Beetle.
Volkswagen Beetle,
That
yeah.
comes in another film,
Much to
doesn't
the
it?
disappointment of my wife, she does like the Bumblebee, the old school Bumblebee. So,
But then we meet Stanley Tucci comes into this film, doesn't he, as Joshua Joyce? And
so I've got him written down
very
here.
long wait for his introduction.
Yeah, he turns up in this film quite late, really, doesn't he? As such, and he's some sort of head of a company, KSI.
Essentially, what they're doing is they're using this metal that we saw at the start of the film that was destroying the dinosaurs. They've called it, here's the real kicker, Transformium.
Oh, I've got that. I couldn't even spell it. I've just I wrote it down here, and I thought I'll have to try and remember how it was
Yeah,
pronounced.
you don't need to be able to spell it.
Yeah.
And they're using it to make more robots, so they can make like a military, isn't it, out of robots?
Yeah, they
Very-
make a Beats pill though, don't they? You know, I mean that was
Yeah,
whether there was some
or a
product
gun.
placement. Good lord!
Oh, this film for product placement. Good grief, man.
I mean, it's on the nose, isn't it?
On the nose, it's full on punching you in the face.
You're on the floor and someone's going, eat this cereal, drink this drink.
Yeah.
Because later on we have him. Don't they crash into
They crash into a truck, don't they, with a Bud Light, and Mark Wahlberg even picks one up and drinks it in front of this dude.
I mean, he literally was expected to turn to the camera and go, "Oh, refreshing," you know, or some sort of tagline, weren't it?
Yeah.
Gee, I mean, well, there you go.
Unbelievable.
Someone's got to pay for it, I'm sure.
And then I get really angry.
What? Even more angry?
It's possible. So we've got that geologist back from the start called Darcy. Nothing wrong with the performance in terms of acting, that sort of thing. It's the whole concept of her character being a geologist. It sort of comes along. She's found like a robot dinosaur frozen in ice, and somehow, out of nowhere, she's declaring that ore has wiped out the dinosaurs and it changes everything. It's like, based on what? One example. And that now, what, changes the whole way we view history? It doesn't work like that. It
No.
doesn't. She's a geologist. She's going to know full well that one sample is not enough to completely change everything. And it really bugged me that she's jumped to the conclusion. But even then, they were so lazy in terms of the script writing, because she sort of goes on saying that, you know, this ore has wiped out all the dinosaurs because we found that one robo dinosaur. But then she goes, I can't say how or why. So even the script writers couldn't explain it, so they just wrote that.
Someone
She couldn't
came up with a
explain it.
theory and nobody chose to explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that. It's so lazy. At least if you're going to have the audacity to try and rewrite how the dinosaurs were made extinct, try and back it up with something.
But it seems to be the theme of this film quite a lot, doesn't it, all the way through, where we do something, but then we're not really going to either explain it or we're just going to skirt over it. It's just like a million ideas written on a piece of paper inside a Transformer movie.
It's like they just came up with ideas and they were all ticked, and they were like, do you want us to explain any of these? No, just put them in. Do you want any sort of backup? No. Okay then. Right. We'll just throw them in there, shall we? Just sprinkle them in, like sprinklings on top of a cake. Had to get my food in there somewhere. Hundreds of thousands, just throw them on while they're there. Wanted them.
Wanted them, that was it.
Yeah.
Sprinkled everywhere.
No real reason.
All over the place.
Yeah.
Half,
Over the
more on the
kitchen,
counter
on the
than
floor.
actually on the cake. Yeah.
Just pour them into your mouth. There you go. Have some more. just, oh god, it's just so. It's the laziness of it.
Every time
That's
I see
what
hundreds
bothers
and
me.
thousands, I'm going
Just
to have them
open.
poured into his mouth. That's awful. There's this kind of heist that's going on, isn't there? And Mark Wahlberg's character is going on, and they're trying to get in there and sneak around and get what they needed to get. However, though, they kind of fail in their plan and they get caught. And Cade is sitting there with, isn't he, with the head and.
Well, no, it's interesting because they're trying to go there on a stealth mission, and then Bumblebee, has despite all these films never understood a stealth mission, and has just decided to lose his shit at the one that looks like him, and start doing donuts inside the building.
They might as well just gone and smashed their way through there and got what they wanted anyway.
Yeah.
And because they did it anyway.
Yeah.
So all this whole sneaking about and trying to get in without being seen was a whole waste of time.
Yes.
But yeah, which so comes on to
The motorway chase scene.
motorway chase.
Which I was infuriated by. And when I say infuriated, I'll explain why, because I'm going to anyway, and you're going to have to sit there and listen to it and take it.
There's a lot of anger in this room at the moment, I've got to tell you.
So, number one, you've
numbered them!
The transformation, I'm going to try and keep it down to 2 points. The transformation of Galvatron is one of the worst things I've ever seen. It's disgusting. Like how he transforms into these little cubes, isn't it? And sort of floats around.
It looks weird, doesn't it?
It looks cheap.
And it also doesn't
tacky.
look as good special effects.
No, and the special effects of the Transformers films are phenomenal. Like we talked before about how CGI is declining and how it doesn't look as good as like 1993 in Jurassic Park, and then they stepped up in 1997 when they did number 2. And some films, like nowadays, if you look at, for example, with the Jurassic Park films, the Jurassic World ones, the CGI is not very good, and it's obvious. Transformers is one of the ones that has sort of broken that mold by continually making these transformations of cars into robots look stunning to the point where you go, I could believe that. And now they've got this weird cuboid, watery, floaty transformation that looks like it's just come out of a cheap video game.
I always remember you go back to the first film, because I think everybody was waiting, going, how are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? Is it going to be misdirection if you're not going to see it, and then it's going to be you're not going to see it, or you're going to be in front of you? But there's this like gear system, clanking metal, isn't there? And that with a little bit of some of the old original sound effects and some of the original movement and transformation, and you go, and everything folds in on itself, and then you look at it and you go, I believe that used to be the car, because there is elements like the car badge and all the other things, the wheel arches become the shoulders in it and everything else. You get this lovely kind of like, I get it, which harps back to being a child. If you ever had those toys, a transformer would be like a really cool thing. So you would transform it as a toy into its helicopter, its motorbike, or its car, whatever vehicle or type of thing it used to be. And then as you opened it up, different things moved around and rocked over on top of each other, and it became quite an intricate piece of kit. Whether they're like that nowadays, I don't know if they're still available to buy, but certainly back in the day they were very complicated, and you had to think about it a little bit of how once you did it, you knew how to do it. It was like muscle memory. And that's the same with this. It's cheap, isn't it, that effect for Galvatron?
That's it. It is cheap.
It's cheap. It's a cop-out, because you just go, we came here, the name is in the title, Transformers. We came here to see some stuff transform. And what was really cool in previous films was when they either transformed in mid-air, which they did in the cartoon series.
Yeah.
I think if you go way back to the first one, if my memory serves you right, is it Starscream? He jumps off a building or something, or maybe jumps onto a building. I'm not really quite sure which order it is in, so forgive me if I'm not quite right. But the point being that he transforms in mid-air into the F1, and you go, God, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
This Galvatron thing, it's not cool. It's not interesting. It's not blowing your mind. You just look at it and go, "What the hell was that?" It's crap.
Very amateur.
Also, on the subject of cheap, that brings me on to point 2. Now,
oh God, we're only on point 2.
No, I said I was going to keep it down.
Point 2 of 10.
Relax.
All right, sorry.
In all the Transformers films so far, there's been a lot of money spent in sort of really filling in these spaces so stuff can get destroyed. Did you notice how in this motorway chase scene that there's literally no cars on the motorway? The opposite carriageway is empty. There's nothing at all, and there's only about 7 other cars that turn up on this just so they can get destroyed. Apart from that, there's no people running around. There's no other cars driving around going, I'm turning around, mate. This is bad.
This is terrible.
There's just nothing going on. It is just a few extra cars. It's like they ran out of money and said, we've only got 7 cars, Michael. Sorry about that. Budgeting's gone a bit wrong. You sacked the finance guy. Spent too much money on explosions. And now we've only got 7 cars. Make do. And it looks visually appalling.
It's a disappointment, isn't it, when you clearly had a big scene here that was going to be along a motorway, and what better to put your vehicles on a motorway, isn't it?
Yeah.
To transform and do their stuff. The thing is, though, we've seen it all before. If you go right back to the first one, we've got a great scene there as well, haven't we, where they're on the freeway. And there's a couple of little crazy moments they used in the trailers as well, where you see a bus slide to its side, and then a transformer slices through the middle of it, and it looks really good. We're seeing events within the action in it, which is really good. I like that. And this, we don't see that.
No,
we get an empty motorway, which was clearly blocked off, so that they could do the live shots and do the.
But then they didn't bother filling it in with anything.
No.
It was like they forgot that they have to fill in the background.
I mean, these films must cost a fortune, mustn't they? And already, like we said, some of the transformations are there still, aren't they? And a lot of elements of it. A lot. I'm looking at it now, bearing in mind it's like 14 years ago when it came out. I still look at the special effects and I just go, God, wow, isn't that really clever? I mean, very few films, and I would say only the Transformer films, demonstrate how far CGI, computer-generated images, have come.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, we've had our avatars, we've had, things where people wear masks, we've had de-aging, we've had all these clever stuff, and I think each film has its own. But I would safely say that Transformers really shows how clever animation can be, how good, and make it look. When they do it, and they do it good, it's good.
It's a fair point.
It
is a fair point. But again, if you're going to spend 210 million, whatever it was, making this film, why not spend 220 and just make the motorway look good?
Yeah.
But there we go. I'll end my points of that bit there.
Yeah,
I don't want to upset anyone.
But while this is all going on, we get a little glimpse into Stanley Tootsie's character a little bit, don't we? Because he's watching from afar in some sort of operation room, isn't he?
Control over Galvatron, haven't they?
They think they have, yeah.
They thought they had, but he sort of separates himself from the control a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he's losing their mind over the fact that civilians are being killed.
And we get to see the side of him a little bit slightly that Disney, I think he says, we have to get some service, we have to send out a thing or do something. And obviously our other lead bad guy just says, no, leave it. It doesn't matter. It's collateral damage. So then we're already getting a glimpse that maybe Stanley Tootsie's a little bit out of his league.
And he's not a bad guy, is he?
No, he's kind of a tech guy who wants to make a lot of money. He wants to have all this stuff. He wants to be popular. Wants to be the best man in the world, doesn't he?
He wants to change the world, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he wants to be that person standing there that everybody worships, isn't it? But and he's going to do whatever he can to do it. However, now he's getting deep in with the government, and basically the tech is out of control, isn't it? And he hasn't really got a grip on it at all.
No, it's not quite gone to plan.
I got to be honest with you, mate. I'm bored by this time. I'd lost track of what our objective was, what we were supposed to be doing, because now we were on a spaceship, and the boyfriend of Cade's daughter, he annoyed me because I think there's a line where he sort of says, you have to remember, we're not getting your daughter back. You're helping me getting my girlfriend back, And I went, well, that's a great thing to say to your future father-in-law, I mean, that's going to win you some points, isn't it? Well, what a terrible man all over, to be honest with you. I would hope that some Decepticon popped up out of the floor and just trimmed him out. or maybe he went back to his car, his little rally car, and he got in it, and then it transformed while he was in it. There you go, gone. I couldn't stand this man. I couldn't.
A waste of a character.
Which is saying something when considering that I'm not a fan of Mark Wahlberg. This man managed to make me like Mark Wahlberg a little bit more. I mean, if ever he's done something for me, that's what he's done. Other than that, terrible. But we get lots of crashing and chaos. We then go to... we're off to Beijing, aren't we, at one point? We're flitting around the place quite a bit,
Yeah, we're
aren't we?
certainly going around and about, because that's for some reason they've decided they have to go to the KSI's Chinese facility. Yeah. Yeah, we just
Yeah,
said-
yeah,
but
that's
it
all
was-
we got.
it was
That's all
made-
we've got
it
for
was
that.
made
We
in-
go to their...
It was made in collaboration
great.
with like Chinese studios. There's a big old collaboration going on. Hence why we've got Beijing coming into things. Obviously, then it gives Bing Bing Lee a bit more of a presence in the film. Another
Yeah.
fantastic actor, very much put on the sidelines in this. I think because I mean Stanley Tucci saves this film.
Oh, massively, doesn't he?
Like I personally, he's so good in this, and he actually brought laughs. He brought genuine, believable performance. He was so invested in it, and Li Bingbing, in her minimalized role, when she's a fantastic actress, we're gonna do the old rewriting of stuff. I think this film would be better. Get rid of the whole Yeager stuff. Nobody wants that. We've seen this before. It's trash. Nobody likes these characters. Why didn't we have it focused on Tucci's character? And then just focus on the whole, him sort of being a bit over his head. There's bad guys in the government. He's like, I need to get out of this. I think that would be a more entertaining film, and have Tucci as the lead role alongside Li Biming. But there we go. Anyway.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with you. We've got a film that's 2 hours and 45 minutes long. That's a long film for this. And basically, we've had, we almost get a completely different film of 45 minutes at the end.
Yeah.
We get the whole Stanley Tutsi and his assistant story and them running through Hong Kong, don't we?
Yeah, because Tucci's told that the seed is essentially a bomb. The bad guy's plan is that it will go off in the biggest city and kill everyone, and then they'll use the transform him there. Whereas he was like, no, we agreed Mongolia, where nobody is. So he's sort of a bit like, oh, I'm in trouble now. And then they decide, well, we've destroyed Chicago before, and let's destroy Beijing, wherever we are. Some of it is quite good, in terms of like Stanley Tucci, his absolute crash outs.
Yes, he does, doesn't he? Yeah.
When the main characters decide they're going to hide in this, I think like a cafe sort of thing, but it's just made of glass. And he just points out going, oh yeah, nobody's going to find us in here. It's just a big glass box where everyone can see where you are. And I thought that was quite funny.
Oh, this is the perfect place to hide. A big glass box. Nobody will ever find us here. That's...
I think he brought another level to it, didn't he? Someone had given him some decent lines. Maybe he'd improv'd it. I don't know. Maybe he'd done what T.J. Miller couldn't do. Believe it or not, even at this point, whilst I said I was bored earlier on, as I got towards the end, I slowly got invested again. I did.
Yeah, I was getting more into it towards this end.
And I sort of went, you know what? I'm back in the game again now. I know I'm liking Stanley Tucci's crash out and burnouts and his like random rants that he's having, which are really good.
But that's quite good, because then we get a little bit more of the Autobots and then fighting. So we've got Hound, who's voiced by John Goodman, brawler of a fighter, but also we've got Drift, who's voiced by Ken Watanabe. Is another fascinating Autobot, because he doesn't use guns, he uses swords, and he's based more on a samurai. And we've got some really cool characters that we haven't seen before fighting, and it's like, oh, I'm getting into this because they're quite unique and different.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of fighting and a lot of carnage that it becomes tiresome. I think it did. I became a little bit.
Well, talking of carnage, including the Dino-bots turn up as well, don't they?
This is another... Well, let's get to that a bit later. I mean, good Lord, there's so many subjects, isn't there? It's phenomenal.
But including the Dino-bots' fire breath, there are... Guess how many explosions there are in this film?
Go on, tell me, enlighten me.
Guess of a number.
15.
563.
Good Lord. Wow.
The destruction.
That's a lot of
carnage.
destruction.
That's a lot of explosions.
But it was going on continuously, wasn't it, at one point?
Oh, yeah.
And the Autobots always come to the rescue, as they do. One thing I found that, again, during this chaos we've got in the city, which I feel that, this must be the end, because we're building up to the end, but get ready, not quite the end yet. Nope. We've got some bigger stuff coming. But I found that there was little elements again. While they're running around in town, there's the elevator opens up. We have again, awkward sexualized shots of young girls as well in an elevator. Like, that's awful. No, I don't want. No, no, and no. And that again takes you out of the. I'm out of the film again now. And then I'm back in the film again. I feel like I'm in and out like a revolving door, non-stop. Or sometimes just in the revolving door, going round and round, and I can't actually get out. But also as well that they decide that right, let's get out of here. Welcome, here comes the big magnet.
Yeah. Sort of. Lockdown's got this ability to lift anything metal up, hasn't he, with his ship, and then just sort of drop it on people.
Yeah, and so with that comes that they have to sort of get out of the way. They all jump in a van. Didn't want to get in one of the Autobots, maybe? I mean, they're all around them.
The Autobots, don't they tell them to get in that car?
I don't know. They get into a van. They get into a truck. And then, like, our rally driver boyfriend gets in and starts driving. And then we have a whole scene where they're trying to get away, and the van then gets lifted up. And I just feel that they did that because they needed to. Like, because they wanted to do the magnet picking the car up situation.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make any sense. Because you go, well, hang on, got all the Autobots here. They've literally turned up to protect you, to get you to where you need to get to. That's the whole part of the plan. Even if I was Optimus Prime or Bumblebee, I'd be going, whoa, guys, what are you doing getting in there? Like, I'll tell you what, mate, I'll transform into a car. You all jump in. Let's get the hell out of here. And I've got guns and stuff, and I can transform. And they can while they're inside, because we've seen it.
We have indeed.
So I lost track on what was going on. There was a lot of confusion and a lot of annoyance as they go away along. Well, there's some kind of like last scene, isn't there? Really, with at the end in some kind of disused area, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the battle's starting to wrap itself up. The Dino-bots have come along and saved the day.
Oh God, I forgot. We've got Dino-bots. We've got so much stuff.
Well, Optimus goes to them for help, doesn't he? And I mean, it's an interesting concept bringing all these massive sort of Dino-bots in. It felt a bit shoehorned in, but one thing I did quite like was Drift, when they sort of transform back into dinosaurs. You just hear Drift sort of go, "I was expecting a giant car." that was quite funny. That was quite funny.
Yeah, and so they saved the day, didn't they? Megatron gets away, doesn't he? He has a little last word at the end, doesn't he? He'll be back. Again. Yeah, he didn't really do a lot, really.
No, he was barely in it, Galvatron.
I mean, he's Megatron, but he's Galvatron, and then he he basically turned up, did a bit of carnage, and then we didn't see him for the rest of the film, and then at the end he goes, "I'll be back, I'll come."
Yeah. Some would say you weren't really there to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be somewhere first before you can come back.
And then we end with everyone being happy and another Optimus Prime speech.
He does a big thing, and then he just says, "See you later, everyone. I'm out of here."
Literally, he's out of there.
He does, doesn't he? And talking about here, I need to get out of here, and that was Transformers: Age of Extinction. I mean, judging by the tone of our voices and you numbering how many complaints you had with this, which is a very rarity, and certainly the confusion to this film, I think it's going to be no surprise that it didn't fulfill me. I'll be absolutely honest with you.
No, there's. I know people have their criticisms about the Transformers films anyway, in 1, 2, 3, etc., etc. I think there's a marked decline in quality when it goes from 1, 2, and 3, and then on to 4. It's like there's a bit of a decline anyway, in my personal opinion. But then it's like just stepping off a cliff. It just didn't work, and I think they tried to put too much in it. There was too much going on.
There's a lot in this,
We could have simplified it and made it a bit more character-driven and a bit more interesting. I think if you get rid of the whole Yeager thing, we've seen this so many times in films. So let's do something different and focus on, Stanley Tucci, brilliant actor, Lee Bing, brilliant actor, and their story of sort of realising we're in too deep. This cemetery wind people, they're a bunch of bastards. We need to get out of this, and we need to try and stop.
But it's weird because we'd already done that in number 3. There's a big tech guy, isn't there, who's doing a little thing. Yeah. I felt that there was nothing here that was new.
And I felt like the whole Dino-bots, I never went, whoa, they're here, they've finally done it.
No.
There was none of that sort of grandeur of it, was there? It was all just very...
They were at the beginning.
It was like a secondary thing.
They were at the beginning, and then they were at the end. And they were there to win the fight, because I never felt they were losing. That was the thing in it. I never felt that we were on our knees and we were going, my God, we can't do anything. What are we going to do? Hold on a minute. Do you remember what happened at the beginning of the film? Optimus Prime is going to go off and he's going to go, do you know what? And even that scene is very... I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're not meant for adults. Maybe they're meant for younger children of like 8, 9, 10 years old who have maybe limited attention span. And maybe it sits really well with them. I don't know.
Well, in amongst that, did you have a favourite bit?
Not so much a favourite bit as such. I would say the special effects were my favourite. And I mentioned it somewhere in amongst this, that the cleverness of it. I think when there's a moment when Kelsey Grammer is standing on the ship and he's talking to our main antagonist, there's a couple of shots which I literally glanced at and looked at, and I found myself transfixed on the screen. That I looked at the detail. I could see the detail in the robot's armor and plating and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, look! You can see the door handle and all the scuffs on it and all the damage, the war damage. That's someone spent a lot of time on that.
Not the person who planned the motorway fight.
No. It was not even the director, not even anyone who's managing the film. That was given to someone probably in some special effects. And they've sat on that and done it all until someone went, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
And they've probably gone beyond to make that look really good. That's my kind of favourite bit, is that it still showed that, you know, the serious amount of, you know, CGI that makes them transform. When we got it, it was good. What about yourself, Tom? What did you have?
I've mentioned it already. The glass cafe scene with Stanley Tucci was my favourite bit. That sequence in general, them running through the Hound fighting, that was probably the bit where I was sort of most interested.
Definitely where the film picked up, didn't it?
Yeah, that bit. But yeah, apart from that.
Okay, so we come over to what is always at the end of this podcast is the flame rating, the official flame rating. And dare I ask, Tom, if I go to you first, what are we looking at?
For me, it's gonna have to be a 1.
Just a 1, yeah.
And it's purely based on the fact that the CGI was still mostly very good in terms of the Autobots. The bit with Galvatron was not good. That was really poor, and it was like they just had like someone else do it all together. And Stanley Tucci's bit was really high level. The rest of it was just forgettable. Even the bits that should have been memorable, like the the Dino-bots, should have been memorable, and it just wasn't.
I felt it was probably potentially supposed to be their film, and I'm the same as you. I'm not gonna hang around it. One flame as well from me as well, because I felt that the Dino-bots were supposed. I mean, it's got the word "Age of Extinction" in it, so we're led to believe that there's going to be some sort of prehistoric element to this, and we're given that right at the beginning, and we are given that throughout the film, but we are taken off in so many different directions. We are every time. We are on a road where we're just going. It's like, well, for here in Britain, it would be the Spaghetti Junction. That's what it would be. The films. There's a road-related theme there. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. And then those that live outside the UK don't know, the Spaghetti Junction is like that. If you imagine a big load of pile of spaghetti put on the table on your plate, lots of different strands going different everywhere. That's what it's like.
There was just too much going on in this film.
Yeah, just too much stuff going on, like we said. I think we pretty much summed it up, really, haven't we? Yeah, disappointing, but, and I'm going to throw this one right at the end. I'm going to throw a curveball right at the end.
Oh, curveball.
Not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No.
I thought we were heading in to an absolute, well, shit show. I'll be honest with you. That's what we were coming into, and we didn't.
But it has
it did hold me long enough. There was elements that were boring, and I didn't like it. And would I go back to it? No. And it's only one flame. It's only one flame.
But I was able to watch it.
Exactly. I thought we were going into this, and we were going to go, God, this is unwatchable. This is an absolute dreadful piece of cinema, you know. But it wasn't, and that's not fair to say that. Hence why it gets one flame. But there you go. Transformers: Age of Extinction. Not quite extinct, just about holding on in there. It's a fossil in the dirt at the moment, isn't it? But that brings us now, or certainly will bring us in a couple of weeks' time, to our fourth and final outing of our theme, Franchise Fatigue. And Tom, I'm going to bring you another fourth instalment.
Oh, so you went 7744.
Yeah. So what I'm going to be giving you is the Dark Knight himself. But however, as you have never seen him before. And I'm giving you Batman and Robin.
My name is Freeze. Learn it well, for it's the chilling sound of your doom. This is the way the world could end.
Please, show some mercy.
With ice. With a kiss.
With venom. I probably should have mentioned this. I'm poison. Poison ivy.
And the only man who can stop them
Hi, Freeze. I'm Batman.
can't do it alone.
So yeah, Batman and Robin. So we'll be asking if we've had enough of Batman to the point of where he needs to hang up his cape. Of this version of the Cape Crusader, that will be coming in 2 weeks' time. All I will say is remember, you can follow us on YouTube. You can follow us on Spotify. Keep up to date of all our upcoming themes and episodes on the Instagram. Follow the links. Send us a comment. Let us know what you think. Because if you let us know what we think, then we can just do, well, we can do stuff that you like, can't we? We can forge our podcast towards our crowd, can't we? As it goes.
Why not?
Or maybe just do what we want to do. Who knows? Anyway, that's all we've got time for. So all I'll say, well, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.